Today, staying hydrated. It's time to get it, right? Finally got hot. It's awesome. We're going to continue talking about spring training. There is a baseball series going on now. It's my favorite event of the year. It's called the College World Series. It's a little bit more exciting than the Major League World Series to me. And 2 nights ago, I was watching LSU in a game. They've got a kid on their team. He's a leadoff hitter. His name's Dylan Cruz, center fielder, All-American. His average this year is .428. He hit his 18th home run 2 days ago. He's projected to be a top 5 pick in this year's MLB draft. One of the things that kind of struck me that I want to talk about today is how he handled some adversity. And I thought it was really powerful. On Tuesday, I watched the last half of the game. So I saw his last 2 at-bats. He comes up in the 7th inning and he pops up in a close game with a runner in scoring position. He pops up in the infield. And you can immediately see the frustration, right? So what do you think that he wanted to do in that situation? He didn't want to pop up in the infield. He wanted to drive the run in, right? He wanted to contribute. He wanted to win that battle. But he didn't. And so the cool thing is it's a 3-0 game. It's not like a 1-0 game or anything, but he comes up again in the 9th inning, his next plate appearance, and the pitcher hangs a slider and he hits a 2-run home run to right field. All right, and so the reason I say that is because his success hinged upon his ability to recover from failure. And one of the things that, we talk about a lot is how do we be successful? How are we successful? What are the things that are essential and critical to success? But one of the things that's uncomfortable sometimes to talk about is how we handle failure is really attached to how good we are at succeeding. It doesn't matter if you're playing golf, football, baseball, a board game. It doesn't matter. When you have the ability to recover from failure, then it makes an impact on how successful you be. Mary Kay has this quote. She said, "The key to success is to fail forward." And I believe that with all my heart. So I've seen kids when I would coach and they would make a mistake early in a game, and you might as well pull them and sit them on the bench because they just could not get over it, right? If y'all seen the camera, they'll follow the guy in the dugout. It's really kind of an unfair camera. Dude strikes out. He's really, really upset about it. He goes in the dugout and throws his helmet. And I played pre-camera era. There was no cameras in the dugout because it would have been R-rated. It was a terrible grown-up fit, right? Banging the bat against the deal, throwing your helmet, saying a bunch of really, really bad words. And so you see the reaction to something that didn't go how I expected, right? And so we all experience that on a daily basis. Why is that important? One of the things, and some of you guys this week went through orientation, and one of the things that I want to talk about is we've had a slow year. We had a slow start to summer, right? Y'all feel like summer just started, right? Like last week. And that's very frustrating. It's not what we expected. It's not what we wanted. And we also experience a little bit of an oppressed economy. It's just a slower economy, right? People aren't as, ready to spend money. They're more cautious in their approach to what they're going to purchase. And so you get those 2 things going, and it's real easy to focus on those 2 things and go, this isn't going how I thought it would. And what's the word that would describe it when you think it's going to go one way and it ends up going another way? What's the word that is in between those 2 things? What's it called? What drives that emotion? Some people would say anger, but it's really not. What's behind the anger? It's disappointment, right? So remember this, if you forget everything else I say today, the distance between expectation and reality is called disappointment. So the bigger the gap, if your expectations are way out here and you go, man, I'm ready for summer, we're going to kill it, May and June, and May comes and you're like, man, I don't even have any calls, right? So your expectation was here, the reality was here. What does that create? It creates disappointment. A lot of people don't handle disappointment. Dylan Cruz, who has had a phenomenal year, in that moment, for a split second, was really disappointed because it didn't go the way he wanted it to, right? Close game, 7th inning, College World Series, elimination game, and I let my team down. I popped up the infield, right? So we realize that nobody in this room is immune from tough things. We're not. We're not immune from a bad economy. We're not immune from what the weather chooses to do or doesn't choose to do. We're not immune from, illness. We're not immune from auto accidents. We're not immune from hardships in our family. And so in order to be successful, people who are really, really good at being, top level, elite, different, have this incredible ability to recover. Because we all know it's not a secret we're going to face challenges, right? Can we all agree that we're going to face a challenge today, right? Getting out of the parking lot. You may stump your toe. You may drop a tool. You may break something getting in your van. I hope none of that happens. But we can't always avoid it because life is not perfect. So when we talk about recovery, here's a couple of thoughts that I want to really hone in on. What do I mean when I say that, and why is it important? Because what I say in orientation is this: half of our proposition is about what? Half of it's about fixing the problem for the homeowner, right? We all know that we go there because they called us with something wrong, right? Their air conditioner's broke, their electrical system's having problems, they got a toilet that won't flush. They call us because they have a problem. Our ability to fix the problem, the technical aspect, is about half the deal. None of you are going to leave today and go to a commercial job where the only person you're worried about is your boss, right? You can use any kind of language you want. You can spit anywhere you want. You don't have a customer in front of you. I mean, you might, maybe once every 2 weeks, see a bunch of white hat guys walking around the job. But the reality is that's not what we do. What is it that we do? Who's our customer? Not all at once. Homeowners, right, Sam? It's important then. Do you think customers could call any of the 1,000 companies in Dallas and get a new toilet? Yeah, and they'll probably get a toilet that works. It may not be a good warranty. It may not be a long-lasting, high-quality product, but they can get their problem fixed, right? They have a lot of options because we are in a competitive market. And so when you go, okay, in a competitive market, in a slow economy, how do I win? How do I achieve this level of success that would be called extraordinary, right? And what I want to say to you guys that I say every time in orientation is this: it's in the service side of it, right? How many of you have been to Popeyes or Chick-fil-A, right? What's the vote? If I say how many would pick Popeyes, how many would pick Chick-fil-A? I think Popeyes has really good food. They got a great sandwich. They got some good food, but I've never left Popeyes feeling really fired up about Popeyes. I don't call people that I know and go, man, Popeyes, that was an amazing experience. I usually leave a little irritated, and I tolerate it because the food's good, right? But I don't ever leave wanting to tell 5 people, man, that was incredible. But when I leave Chick-fil-A, how do I feel? What is the experience that you just had, right? It's something that's extraordinary. You're going to be told my pleasure. You're going to be asked, how may I serve you? When you ask for a refill, you don't act like you're irritating somebody, right? And so the reality is, listen, stick with me. Look, half of what we do is in service. And so if that's true, what is absolutely crucial to our success in doing exactly what Jimmy says on TV when he makes a brand promise that we're going to deliver great service every time? What do we have to be focused on? What's one of the things that we need to put in our toolbox? The ability to recover. Because what happens if your first job is a terrible job? For many reasons, right? Maybe you have to drive a long way and you're irritated. Maybe the homeowner's rude and it really is bothering you. It's in your craw, right? And the job doesn't go well. Should that determine how the rest of your calls go that whole day? No, it's no different than if you're a baseball player and you strike out in the first inning and you make 3 errors in the field and you can't succeed at the plate the rest of the day because the first job went bad. So what I want to say is the ability to recover is essential and critical in order for you and I to be successful at a high level. So recovery, number one, there's 3 things I'm going to tell you about recovery. Number one, recovery is possible. If you go, I just can't recover, then you need to go talk to somebody who can help you process why you get hung up on these failures. Here's a question. If you have an argument with somebody you love, is it your MO? Is it what you normally do to just leave? You just go, I'm done, and you throw things down and you go drive off somewhere and you get just pissed off for 4 hours over something stupid if you go back and think about it, right? Or are you the kind of person that goes, you know what, I need a minute. How do I get this right? How do I shift what's going through my brain and go, what's the best possible outcome here? If you don't possess the ability to recover, seriously, it is possible. You cannot tell me, well, I don't have that skill or I can't do that. Come talk to me. I'll write something on my whiteboard that will really help you with recovery. And when I mean recovery, I'm talking about when you're angry, upset, or disappointed, how do you shift gears and get back in a good frame of mind, right? Because what do our customers expect when we're in front of them? Great service. We charge for great service, not good service, not average service, not mediocre service. And so when you have job number 1 goes bad, is that the customer's and job number 2's fault? No, we should not take that into the second job. All right? So reset. The second thing is recovery is critical to your performance. It really makes a difference when you kind of get your head right. How many of you would agree that you know when you're mentally sharp, your opportunities are better and you're more successful? Anybody in here feel that? And you go, man, you know what? I'm focused today. I want to be right, engaged with the customer. That makes a difference in your performance. It's critical to your performance. Number 3, recovery is a healthy habit. Why is it? Because if you stay in a triggered state, if you stay in a state of anger, frustration, disappointment, do you know that it eats away at your mental health? Right? And what does it create in terms of friendships and community and the culture you want to build in your life? What happens? Who likes to hang around the person that's always negative? Anybody, you sign up, you go, man, I love negative people. They just make my day, right? You don't. It's irritating. So what does that tell you and I? Don't be that person. Be the person that goes, man, look, can I help you? Can I turn that, frown upside down? Let's go talk about it. What's going on? How you doing? That's the kind of people that respond to that and go, you know what? I had a bad start this morning, but I'm gonna turn it around, right? So recovery is really, really critical. There's one last thing that I want to say. When you leave a job, listen, you might want to write these down. So this will be a really helpful tool, okay? 3 things that I want you to think about when you leave a job. I want to give you like a Cliff Notes version that you can do in 2 minutes when you leave a situation. Here's 3 questions. What went well? Right? This is debrief. What went well? Think about it. What could have gone better? Or what didn't go well? However you choose to word that. What went well? What didn't go well? And here's the last thing. What did I learn? Think about that. What did I learn from that situation? Good or bad? It's a really good idea, because what happens is if you do it at every job and you go, you know what, I'm going to debrief. How did that go? You might want to attach a number to it. How did that job go? You may go, that was an 8. This could have been better. Why was it an 8? This could have been better. Why was it a 9? Because this went really, really good. Why was it a 5? How did that go? And then what did I learn, right? I should have said this. I should have spent more time. One of the things we talked about yesterday was options. And when we get slow, it's really funny because the guys get really panicky about we're having calls. And sometimes what they'll do is quit doing the things that would actually make them more successful. And so when you assess yourself and you go, hey, what did I learn? You should go, well, I learned that when I give 3 options, I close more jobs and my average ticket's higher. So, man, that's what I learned. I didn't give 3 options to the homeowner. I didn't give them anything to talk about with me, right? So those are some things that will take you out of recovery. Take you out of a triggered state and help you recover. If you'll do this kind of debrief, all right? Guys, I know it's hot. I know the year's been tougher than we want, but here's what I'm going to ask of you. Put your best foot forward. Literally. Nobody can stop you from being really, really good. You can stop yourself, but nobody else. No job that you're given, no circumstances created can stop you from being successful. Only you can. And half the battle's in your mind. And we're out there and we're providing a service let's do it at the highest level. Let's exceed our brand promise, right? Let's provide great service on every job, all right? Stay cool, stay hydrated, have a good day.